Ever since we started filming and editing videos, it has always been our intention to create a record of our trips and passages around the region, so later in life we can look back and see exactly what we did in various years. It occurred to me recently that I only published one video at the start of last season because it wasn't a particularly good sailing year for us. However, we did do a little bit of sailing, so for completeness, and before I post anything from this season, I thought I would publish the footage and explain why it was a poor season for us. So this is what I'm going to do now. Following on from the launch and rig setup, which was documented in the last video in June 2021, we set off on a trip initially to Carnarvon. It's Tuesday 13th of July, almost 2 o'clock now. We're making our way out of the Conwy River, away for a few days probably, so we're just heading initially for the Menai Strait, and we'll go through the Swellies, up to Carnarvon probably first, and then see what it's like then. The forecast for the weather is to improve. Very low cloud here today, very grey, a bit chilly, and the sea's a bit lumpy on the way out, so hopefully it'll all get better. Difference an hour makes. When we came out of Conwy, it was really low cloud, quite cold, and we're just passing to the south of Puffin Island now. The sun is beautiful in the sky, clear blue sky, and the smell of the guano on the cliffs here from the seabirds is quite overpowering. It's 12:17 on Wednesday the 14th, and we've just dropped the mooring and on our way up to Carnarvon. This is one of our favourite restaurants in Carnarvon, the Villa Marina, where we went for a meal that evening. On the way back to the boat, we were treated to a fantastic sunset through the dock gates. During the whole time we were at Carnarvon, the weather was set fair and beautifully sunny with very little wind. We're lucky enough to have a cockpit tent on Magic Hawk, and we found it essential to give us some shade from the sun during the day. Our neighbours on the visitors pontoon were also from Conwy, Ian and Joanna on motor yacht Puffin. We left Carnarvon on the Friday morning, as later that day there were 17 yachts due in to Victoria Dock from the Conwy Cruising Club. There was still very little wind, and rather than motoring up the west coast of Anglesey towards Holyhead, we decided to go back through the Swellies and return to Conwy. On the way through the Straits, the Conwy Cruising Club boats passed us, all under sail, ghosting along towards the Menai Bridge. It was quite a spectacular sight. Yacht Puffin was also heading back to Conwy and soon caught us up along the strait. As we crossed Conwy Bay, we became aware that we were passing thousands and thousands of jellyfish in the water. We've never seen so many in the bay ever. That evening we were treated to yet another spectacular sunset, but this time on the River Conwy. What came next was a little unexpected. We had planned to spend all of August away sailing on the boat, but unfortunately at the end of July I came down with a chest problem, which resulted in x-rays and blood tests, and the long and short of it was I missed 6 weeks of sailing. And I wasn't too well. So by the time we got back to the boat, unfortunately we could only really day sail for the rest of the year, and then we hauled out Magic Hawk back at Dickie's again. So unfortunately our sailing season came to an abrupt end. By mid-May we had finished the refurbishment and winter maintenance work on Magic Hawk, and even had time for a sausage surprise meal, just before we launched on the 16th of May.
It's Monday the 16th of May, and we've just launched Magic Hawk from Dickie's at Bangor. It was at 10:37 this morning. It's a pretty grey old day today. It is improving though. It was raining quite hard overnight. But not a great deal of wind now. We've emerging from the strait, so we're having to just motor along. We'll probably get some sail up going across Conwy Bay and shake everything out, make sure everything's been put back together again properly, but in the meantime it's just time to relax and enjoy being on the water again. Well, what do you think of it today, Jude?
Rubbish.
Rubbish? Why?
No, it's not really rubbish. It's quite calm really at the moment, isn't it?
It is, yes, it is indeed.
As long as it stays that way, we'll be alright.
We'll be okay.
Back on the moor and a cup of tea. And lunch.
Sounds good to me.
As predicted, we did manage to roll out the sails going across Conwy Bay, and apart from a couple of halyard tensions, everything looked fine. The winds were pretty light, so we rolled out the staysail as well as the genoa and pretended to be a cutter for a while. Here's hoping that we have a better season in 2022.